We are going to a place that has a really negative reputation.
We are going to Bobby Mackey's Music World, probably one of the most well-known haunted locations in America.
While some claim a slaughterhouse was originally located on the property that would eventually become Bobby Mackey's, the location first housed a distillery in the late 1800s. One of the distillery buildings is still standing down the road. Many people believe the hauntings at Bobby's stem from the gruesome murder of Pearl Bryan in 1896. She was beheaded by her boyfriend and a friend, and legend has it, her head was thrown down the well that Bobby Mackey's would eventually be built on. There's no documented connection between Pearl Bryan and the location. Her head was never found, and her body was found 2.5 miles from where the building now sits. Nevertheless, the legend persists. The structure went through many iterations through the years, including being a bar during Prohibition, a casino run by the mob, and a tavern known to the locals as Bloody Bucket, due to the level of crime that would take place there. In the 1970s, Bobby Mackey purchased the building to fulfill his dream of owning his own honky-tonk. But it wasn't long until paranormal claims took center stage. Reports of voices and apparitions were common, and even Bobby's own wife claimed to be pushed down the stairs by an unseen force.
Something grabbed me around the waist, and it was so much pressure and force that I could not get loose. So I was picked up and carried almost to the door to where you go down the stairs and dropped.
Carl Lawson served as the caretaker of the building. He famously said he was possessed by the spirits that inhabited Bobby Mackey's, and a demon tried to drown him in the bathtub.
Especially the past few years, I never felt control of anything that I did. I had habits and mood swings that were just completely uncontrollable. It was just a nightmare. My life was just completely not anything I wanted to do. It belonged to something else.
Carl claimed he would see the apparition of a young woman named Johanna. She would tell him to dig in the basement, and upon digging, he uncovered the infamous well, which has been called a portal to hell, allowing spirits to move freely into Bobby Mackey's. Carl's possession became so bad that 2 exorcisms were performed in the club.
I'm not leaving! Yes, you are. Yes, if I leave, we all have to leave!
The paranormal claims at Bobby's are plentiful. Shadow figures, noises, bottles being thrown, full-body apparitions, growls, people being scratched, and perhaps the most frightening, spirits following people home. Now that Bobby's is slated to be demolished, what happens to whatever currently inhabits the building? We hope to find out before it's too late.
Actually, I've been to Bobby's 3 times. I've been there twice to investigate, once for a tour. So this will be my 3rd investigation. One of the things with Bobby's is you never really know what you're walking into. Bobby's has had this really negative reputation as far as the supernatural goes. And it goes all the way back to Carl Lawson.
I've never been there. I've always wanted to go there and sort of sort through what ideas and tales are like embellished and what's actual fact. You know, I have personal friends that have gone there and came back and told me really negative things that have happened to them. But the one thing that puts me at a different level of fear is leaving there and having something go with me.
I am one of the founders of Gatekeeper Paranormal, and my team ran the paranormal tours and investigations at Bobby Mackey's Music World for 10 years. And during those 10 years, I experienced a lot. I could sit here for hours and tell you stories. Everything I experienced, from whispers to loud, audible, disembodied voices, shadow figures, full-body apparitions, things moving, things being thrown, getting touched, getting pushed, getting scratched, you name it, it's happened to me at Bobby Mackeys.
What was weird about my last investigation at Bobby's was I feel like I met so many people on that visit that were like, it followed me home. It f***ed with my life. I don't want to be here. I interviewed one guy who refused to step foot on the property, would not do it, and was basically like, please don't go there. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. So we went. But 3 days later, I fell at my house, ended up in the ER. Same day, my coworker ended up in the ER. We're on opposite coasts. He's West Coast, I'm East Coast. And I think you can look at that and just say, okay, coincidence, like it's a weird coincidence. But what kind of makes me question that is that the day I fell, almost to the minute that I fell, a psychic I had worked with one time contacted me and said, I don't know what you're doing, but something followed you home and it's not good. And now here's the little cherry on top of that, is that my coworker who I was working with, who also ended up in the ER, same day, like it was like the next day, a psychic he had met one time contacted him and said, I don't know what you're doing, but something followed you home and it's not good.
Hey, I'm Alex Reinsen. I'm an employee of Bobby Mackeys. In the room of faces, I had who I called my smart friend. I said, my smart friend, that's you messing with us, ain't it? Now, while we're all standing in there, we all heard, ha, ha, ha. And I jumped and I immediately just ran my back to the wall. It was the first time I ever heard a disembodied laughter.
It's said that there are demonic entities there. You hear a lot of stories about a woman's head being in the well on the property.
This picture was taken in 2019. There's a lady in the picture. She's very real. She was on the tour with her friend, and she had heard something, and so she asked her friend to take a picture. Her friend took the picture, and then you can clearly see her, and then behind her is a tall shadow figure that wasn't there. Nobody saw it at the time until after they looked at the picture.
The most memorable moment was probably when Teresa and I spotted the woman, or sensed the woman, near the restrooms. And then we had another team member that kind of walked into that energy, who was being affected, I think, by a different spirit. And he took on the anger of that emotion. He took on anger.
That woman, it was definitely a shadow person, because like it was like, whoop, and just stayed there for a second and popped back. And I was like, nah, dude, no. Did that actually happen?
That whole back area, remember we were
Oh yeah, I did catch that shadow that I was talking about. The back by the pool tables, where I kept saying I keep seeing something run across the windows.
Yes.
I did get that shadow running across.
Yes, you did.
But
Yes,
I don't think it was a car, to be honest with you.
In May of 2023, my team and I went to Bobby Mackeys. In the bull room, I had a recorder set up. My daughter's friend, Kira, was walking past the bull, and when the lights are out or the power's off, the bull, like the platform underneath is deflated, so it's just like a tarp. So she's walking past it and she tripped, and you hear her do like a big dramatic like oof sound, and then almost like instantly you hear a little voice that just goes, be careful. And it is, to date, my favorite EVP that I've caught yet.
All right,
Back in the 1930s and 40s, there was a mob-owned club on the property. First it was called the Primrose, and then it was called the Latin Quarter. And in 1943, there were two men in the men's bathroom, which was at the end of the bar, and they got in an argument. The one guy was punched, he fell down, he hit his head, he died of a brain hemorrhage on the floor of the bathroom. And his name was Paul Goodhue. The man that killed him, his name was William Davidson. So that area of the bar, we would always get audible male voices.
It felt like that, like something was taking it out of my body.
What's your name?
You can pretty clearly hear a whispered voice go, Bill, William Davidson, the man who killed Paul Goodhue.
Bobby Mackey's music world is being torn down. It will only be standing for a few more weeks, and then it is gone forever. We are one of the last groups to investigate and film there, and we have very limited time to do this investigation. So essentially, our approach is balls to the wall. We are gonna try every possible piece of equipment we have at our disposal. We're gonna try every method we can think of. Our friend and engineer and fellow investigator, Zach Heino, cannot be here physically with us, but we really felt passionately about trying to gather any kind of environmental readings that we could. With Zach not being able to make it physically, we're gonna bring him in remotely. He shipped us some sensors he's built, some other equipment he's built. We're going to use them. And what's really cool is because of how he's built his equipment, he can actually monitor it remotely. And the goal is to try to get something objective, to try to understand what's behind all of these insane experiences people have been having.
The fact that they have gutted the building and they've taken out a lot of belongings and they've rearranged things, for me, I'm wondering how that's going to affect activity. And if there are really negative spirits there, which it seems like there is from all the experiences people have had, then, how's that going to change things? I mean, maybe for us, since we're going to be some of the last people to investigate there, maybe we'll experience like activity that no one else has experienced before on like a higher level.
There's part of me that's very nervous. There's part of me that questions this. There's part of me that's like, you know what? Being at home right now with the Golden Girls and like my family sounds way better than this and a lot safer. But then there's that other part of me that just says, this is the last chance to get answers. So we're gonna be let into Bobby's in like 45 minutes. We have to call Zach just to make sure we're up to speed on his equipment. Then we're gonna call Michelle. Nice. We're gonna take her to the main floor and then the well. Maybe the wall of faces if we have time. They're kind of connected, the well and the wall of faces. So she might hit on both of those at the same time. And then it's just balls to the wall, investigate until sun comes up. And that's it. Like, that's all the time we have. We are one of the last groups to film here, and we're one of the last groups to investigate this building before it gets torn down. So I just kind of feel like whatever we can find, whatever we have to do.
Take it.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Okay, so we have access to the whole main floor and then the basement and everything that's in the basement. The only thing we don't have access to is Carl's apartment. But I also, just from experience, I've investigated up there both times I was here and nothing really ever happened. How are you guys feeling?
I'm nervous.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie.
What makes you nervous?
Just, I don't know, I spent the whole day listening to people talk about how messed up this place is, and now like to be here in this parking lot, I'm just like, okay. All I can think about is all those stories now.
Yeah. This is gonna be your first and last investigation.
Yeah, I mean, I have a feeling we're gonna always like remember this night, like no matter what happens.
Yeah.
Because for me, it's kind of monumental because I'm finally investigating this place, but at the same time, it's gonna be like most likely the last time I ever see this building. Now, your last investigation, what do you want to get out of this one?
Look, Jack and I had that weird thing happen where we both ended up in the ER on the same day, and we both had two different psychics who hardly knew us contact us and be like, something followed you home. To me, that part extends a little bit too much past coincidence.
Yeah.
So like, I kind of feel like, I guess personally, it feels like my last chance to get answers.
Okay, so I'm calling Zach right now.
Hello?
Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good, good.
Okay, so I'm here with the team, me, Heather, and Jay. We're in a really hot car, so I'm going to make this kind of quick, but we're waiting to go into Bobby's. We got your equipment that you sent. We're going to set it up in the building when we're ready to go in.
Once we have it all set up, I can view the live feed of the data sensors in real time. I could see the if we have this camera set up, I can see the live feed of that.
So basically, you're going to be monitoring everything in real time, and if you see anything wonky, you'll just text us, call us.
Yeah, I'll shoot you a text. I don't want to interrupt what you guys are doing, but if it's big enough, I will call you.
Okay.
Like I said, and the nice thing about the camera, if we get the camera set up nicely, we can, it'll be audio and video, so I'll be able to hear and see pretty much, independent eyes and ears on this whole entire investigation, so that you guys can do your thing, and then, from a third person perspective, I can kind of look in.
All right, Zach, so we're going to get going. We can get into the building pretty soon here, so we're gonna pony up and do it. All right, so we can finally go in. Are you guys ready?
Rolling, yep.
Are you guys sure you want to, like me? And I'm being serious. This is actually like the last chance to back out, and it's fine.
What the heck am I gonna do? Sit in the car? Why would I do that?
Because it's scary.
I'm losing a whole night's sleep being here, okay? We're backing out now.
My heart is racing, but I'm ready.
You feel good, Jay?
Yeah, I feel invigorated.
That's a good word. I like
horrified.
that word.
All right, we have till sun up. Let's do it.
The infamous sign.
Okay, are you guys ready?
Nope.
I am.
All right, let's do it. It starts now.
Get ready for this.
Oh yeah, she got Jay's reaction.
Yeah.
I don't like it in here.
No?
Why?
I don't know. It's just got like it's like that feeling of like, don't be in here. It's not like overwhelming, but it's.
There's such a stillness to it.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Heather.
Hey, Alex.
Nice to meet you, Alex.
Nice to meet you too.
And this is Jay. He's our producer, director,
Nice
buddy.
to meet you. Nice to meet you. All right, so I have stuff for you all to sign.
Okay.
Honestly, it's just so I can have Katrina's signature,
Can we ask I don't know if you're aware, the groups that were just here, did they have any experiences?
I mean, last week I was given a tour and I was actually scratched.
Where?
It was in, so the room that connects the room of faces to the well room.
Yes.
I call it the green room.
Okay.
That is a room that I'm not a fan of because, I've had, family members threatened, friends threatened. I've been scratched in there.
Wait, through what? Like voice?
Through like an ovulus.
Oh.
Yeah. So I had that happen down there.
Okay, so that area, because we have till sun up basically, and like obviously this place is gonna get knocked down, so it's kind of like, I feel like, I'm sure you feel this way too, like your last couple investigations here, it's like, it's my last chance to get answers.
Yeah.
Where do we go? What do we do? Do we split up? Do we stay together? What equipment do we use? What works here?
It honestly, everything works. I mean, at this point in time, I mean, the spirits are, they're getting a bit restless. Everything's changing. Everything's moving. Things are getting cleared out. They're starting to get a little agitated. I mean, I've been hearing more and more noises. I mean, I've had breaths being exhaled behind people that, literally they turn around. I'm like, yeah, I heard that. And while
really?
I'm talking. Yeah.
And like with the naked ear?
Yeah, like I'd be giving the tour and the room of faces. I was like, okay, so over here we have the lady laying in bed. Did y'all hear that?
Yeah.
And the guy was like, yeah, something just exhaled behind me. And I'm like, yes, thank you, And it came from that green room. But I mean, we've had noises up here. I've had random whistles, knocks inside of the gift shop here. We've had noises all throughout. Tuesday? I was showing everybody Bobby's office.
Yeah.
The old counting room. and I don't know what it was that came over me, but I just felt like something was just standing in the doorway, with malice. I literally just went, slammed the door shut, and I was like, no, not today. And one of the guys on the tour was like, you heard that too? I was like, no, I didn't hear nothing. I just felt it, and it just felt wrong. So,
wow. What do you think is here, like in your opinion?
A bunch of different spirits.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of varies. I mean, I've been told demon and things like that, and I've heard like growling and so on, but I'm not sure as far as that goes.
What do we say that, like, I'm like, because this is my third time investigating, and I feel like I've never had the Bobby Mackey experience, you know?
Yeah.
Except for like Jack and I ending up in the ER on the same day. Like, that was really weird. I have one more question for you. Once this place gets demolished, what do you think is going to happen to the spirits here?
I think they're going to stay. I mean, I think there are some that are going to move on.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of them are going to stay. I mean, this property has gone through so much over the years and so many deaths. I think they're just going to stay put, and then once he rebuilds, I believe it's going to start happening again there.
Do you know how people say that they think things follow them from here?
Yeah.
Do you think because they're not going to have a home anymore, people are more at risk to have something follow them now?
I haven't really thought of it like that. I don't believe so, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I do believe that there's some stuff here that refuses to let go of this land, and I think it's just gonna keep coming back no matter what's built here. That's just my personal opinion, though.
So here's the thing with Michelle. She does not know anything about where we are. She doesn't even know we're in Kentucky. So what I'm doing now, because people love to say this on social media, we are FaceTiming Michelle, but I am putting tape over my phone, over my camera, so there's no chance that she could even see. So basically we're just gonna take her to the two main spots here, which is this floor, and then we'll shuffle out of here, lock the door, go down to the basement, lock the door, and take her to the well in the room of faces, like that whole area in the green room that Alex was talking about. I was gonna point out, we are completely alone. They usually don't do that, but they are being really, really kind to us and letting us just have run in the middle of the place. Okay, I'm gonna call Michelle. Oh my gosh, last psychic reading of Bobby Mackeys for us.
Gives me the chills.
Ready? Hi.
Hello, hello.
So I am just reiterating this for folks at home. You cannot see anything, right, on my camera?
I have got a black screen.
And you also do not know where we are, correct?
No clue. I mean, I can guess a state is probably east of the Rockies, but beyond that, no.
Okay.
Probably.
Okay, let's go towards the stage.
I have no idea if this is relevant, but I just flashed back to the reading I did on the anniversary episode where I was in the house, but my awareness was pulled past the field outside of the house, across like a little path or something to an old cemetery that had been sort of like an old family burial plot. I do not know if that is relevant, but sometimes there are parallels in cases. And this is specifically like a body memory and internal memory of the reading at the anniversary. My attention feels split between an interior space and space around it that feels open. Again, I hear like insects, like a warm summer night kind of feel. A field. There's a road nearby. It doesn't have a lot of traffic. Probably like a 2-lane country road. Cars that go by.
It's a cargo.
As
a cargo spot.
I am seeing bare beams or bare supports that angle a little bit to one side. I'll sketch that real quick. I have no idea if it's relevant.
Yeah, but also the bar too. And even downstairs in the basement.
Yeah.
A window.
Oh, the window. Downstairs by the well.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Simple frame.
Simple frame.
Can't remember if that's called a double hung or not. It's dark beyond the window. I don't see any detail. There's a lot of sense of wood and bare wood.
Downstairs.
Kind of raw wood.
Downstairs.
Yeah.
Rickety, maybe. This is not a grand staircase in like a 19th century home. This is utilitarian stairs that might be going down into a basement or into the loft of a barn. Like they're just very basic wood. I feel like I am picking up on a couple of layers of floor plan and design in a space that has had a different shape, has been rebuilt or built over, repaired, altered. So I'm getting echoes of a couple of different variations of layout and stuff. There's a quick image of, I'm gonna say a woman, adult, white. She has a longer dress on, but it's thinner material, like summer weight kind of dress, maybe cotton, probably cotton. I think she's trying to take me to something. Round stone thing with a lid. I don't know if this is it. Maybe an old well. It looks like something that's been covered up. And I think it's outside, further away on the property.
We literally have to walk outside to get to this thing. We can't access it through here.
There's a little boy. He's wearing short pants, but again, I don't have a clear sense of his time period. Not 21st century, certainly, older. He's got almost like a bowl cut. His hair also is like dark blonde. He's white. He seems to be aware of me, so I suspect that he is an intelligent spirit. He looked up as I was poking around trying to get a better sense of him. He seems upset about rules, about not being able to go places, not being allowed to go certain places. Again, I keep seeing what might be an old well, but it's not like, you know, the edge of like an old stone well with a cover. This is the sort of thing that looks like a knee-height concrete cylinder, or lower than knee height, that has a cover on it that I think is stone.
We don't know
or
what it
also
looked
concrete.
like before. But I mean, she's right, it's not that
as
type
opposed
of
to
well.
like, you know, your classic wishing well of like, here's a whole bunch of stones that somebody like put together and made what looks like an old stone wall. This has I don't know, like a standpipe kind of feel. There are
there are sewer pipes and access points out here in the country that look a little bit like this. They're ways to get into some of the drainage things around here. It's not a perfect match, but it's closer.
We're not even down there.
We're not
She's
even
just
down there,
picking
yeah.
it up.
And Michelle, I just want to make sure I'm following you. So you believe there's an intelligent spirit of a little boy here and also an intelligent spirit of a woman, but she's being pretty quiet to you.
Yes.
Did he die here?
I wouldn't be surprised if he did. He doesn't seem scared or distressed, but there seems to be a portentous quality to I'm not supposed to go there, because I think the unsaid thing is he might have gone there anyway and it didn't end well for him. I think he got lost, hurt, or trapped.
What's the connection to the well, if there's any?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if he, oh God, if Timmy fell down the well. Help. Sorry, that's a Lassie reference, and
we know Lassie. We're not too young for Lassie.
Sorry. I'm getting two different senses with him. Like, for some reason that well or something keeps popping up. And also there is that external building that seems a little older and ramshackle. And
yeah, I think it's the house.
I'm inclined to assume that he was told to stay away from the well.
You heard that?
Yeah.
Hold on.
And at the same time, that image of an external building keeps coming up. And I don't know.
Hey, Michelle, can you hold on for 1 second? Keep that thought, though, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Did you guys heard that?
I did.
Yeah.
What did it sound like
It was
to
like
you?
footsteps.
Yeah.
Or like
walking.
maybe a knocking.
I heard it from back there. Is that where you heard it?
I could not tell.
Yeah, I couldn't either.
I wanted to say over here, but it was too hard to tell.
Okay, if you're here, can you do that again? Maybe you're the little boy or the woman that Michelle's connecting to? You know, everyone thinks you're a demon, but I don't think we're super convinced of that. Okay, let's go, how about this? Let's go down to the well, because she keeps picking up on the well.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think she's picking up on anything on this floor. Everything she's referencing, to me, sounds like the basement.
I just feel so weird, like if a car would see us go in here, like, I'm just freaking myself out. Hello?
Hi, ghosts.
Oh God, that smell is not good.
Yeah.
Oh, look how creepy it is back there.
Yeah.
Oh man, what is back there?
I don't know.
Okay. This is the old house.
Yeah, see?
Instead of tearing it down, they built around it.
That's crazy.
And remember, she was saying the window.
So the well is in the old house?
Yeah, this is the staircase that leads to nowhere. This is what I think she was talking about.
Oh my God.
What she said doesn't make any sense.
I didn't see that when we were here.
Yeah. And this is also, that's where Alex said that woman got that picture. Hey, Michelle?
Yeah?
Hey, we are back. Sorry about that.
I have taken advantage of the time to make a fairly decent sketch of the little boy. This is the that building.
That looks like where we are.
I got hung up on the shingles for some reason. They look like they're really worn and warped. They don't all lay over one another neatly. They're dark. They're like coated with tar or something.
I mean, that's the top of this building.
Yeah.
Old way of waterproofing.
Michelle, can you tell us where the well leads to?
Someplace dark that a little boy would get trapped in. Weirdly, I don't see water. I see stones.
Remember, it was never an actual water well.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a pipe or a pit.
Oh my gosh.
Or an old mine shaft? First of all, it's supposed to be covered up. Like, this is something that was no longer in use, and it seems like there's a bunch of clutter. And by clutter, I mean, like, there's a drop, and then it's stuff, like some broken, jagged wood, some tumbled rock. Everything feels sharp. Detritus from construction, maybe. The drop is at least 10 feet. It would be perilous if not fatal.
I'm not here, but maybe back in the day. Oh, I guess maybe if you went down.
It almost looks like stuff collapsed down there, because it's really just a chaos of rock and old wood and just jagged things sticking up. It feels like there's a space beyond that, but one would have to clear a fair amount of stuff to get to whatever that space is.
Michelle, I want to ask a couple questions, if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Since you keep hitting on this well, is that part of the haunting here?
It seems to be a major point. I don't know if it's the only thing, because it doesn't, at least for me, solve the question of who the woman was. But whatever created the tumble of rocks and debris and broken things at the bottom of this shaft seems to me like a key element. And it feels like tragedy upon tragedy, like something really bad happened. There was great loss, and then subsequent loss.
Hey, Michelle, I have a couple specific questions. Is it okay to ask a couple things?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, please.
So, the well, are you picking up on if there's anything hidden in the well?
There's something, I don't know if it's bones or tools. The debris would need to be cleared to reveal what's underneath it. And what's underneath it and past it is twofold. There is something beyond it, but it also feels like it collapsed onto something or someone, or a couple of someones. So I think there's definitely a sense that there's stuff underneath it.
There have been negative experiences associated here?
Yeah.
Who or what is that?
There's a sense of a collective... Rage is too strong of a word, but dissatisfaction, resentment. I think some people were mistreated, not directly, but their safety was not taken care of in the way that it should have been. There's resentment.
There's 3 questions I have. Are there any murders or murder associated with this location? That's question number 1. Question number 2, does anything here follow people? Question number 3, there was an exorcism performed at this location. Can you tap into that?
First one, it would not, so first question, was there a murder here? It would not shock me to learn that the woman was murdered. Like, axe in her back, kind of, like something violent.
Question number 1, you answered, you feel like the woman was murdered. And then the other 2 questions being, would whatever is here follow you? And someone was exorcised here. What is that about?
Sorry, I'm processing a couple of layers of stuff. So I'm asking the boy, do you follow people? And he says, only because I want to play.
That doesn't seem right.
This is not really a boy.
That was going to be my next question. And Michelle, sorry, one more question in all of that. Would whatever is here mimic a human?
Uncertain. The boy looks like a boy to me. A person who is sensitive enough or has the proper resonance to some of the emotional scars in this space will find themselves inhabited by the tragedy and giving voice to the spirits.
So almost like they would act like a conduit?
Yeah, but if someone's not prepared for that or trained for that, it's going to feel like possession.
Okay, can I get very specific with you?
Yeah, there are things that seem to rise up from this space. Please.
What do you mean by that?
There are buried secrets and there are buried people, and there are stories and secrets that want to come out, and they want to emerge badly enough that they will latch on and almost erupt from people who have the right something, like the right connection, the right resonance. It's not everyone.
People that have the right connection.
Almost like channeling?
Almost like channeling, but not like willfully channeling, like the something with the space picks. You'll do, like you work, give voice to the pain, the rage, the loss, it's almost like just screaming.
Is it okay to tell you where we are?
Yeah, I'm curious now. I think I've gotten as much stuff as I'm gonna get.
We are at Bobby Mackey's.
Okay.
And I mean, I don't know are you familiar with Bobby's at all?
I hear the name. I have never really looked much into it. So not really. Is it a bar?
Yes, it's a music venue, honky tonk, but it's a really strange place. You are 1000% right about the well, because they call it a well, but it was never really a well. There is an access. Yep, you were. I was
so confused about that. I was like, what? It's a well. It's not a well. It's a chef. What the hell? There's no water in the bottom of it.
Yes,
they dumped something down there. What
yep. They call it a well. Everyone has always called it a well, but there was it was never one of those drinking wells. There is a point that it goes out to, I know you can get through it as a human. And then there's a point where it gets really, really tiny and you kind of can't go anymore. There is a murder of a woman associated with this place, although she wasn't murdered here, but the story was they threw her head in the well, but nobody has been able to ever confirm that. Allegedly, her head was never found. So here's the thing. They're demolishing it. We're one of...
Really?
Yeah, we only have this place until 8 a.m. tomorrow, or today. And then we're done, we can't do anymore. So I guess my question to you is, as we're investigating, now that you know this stuff, if you can tap into anything as you're up, and just shoot me a text or give me a call if you think it's urgent. But people, I don't know, I've spoken to so many people that believe there's a demon here, and then some of the people that do the tours don't believe that. And it just seems to be all over the place, and it's really hard to understand what's here. Do you think there's a demon here?
I wasn't getting that impression, but I also understand that for a certain person, like, how we define demon has a lot to do with our background. So
really.
if something seems dark and malevolent, for most people, that's all you need for it to be a demon. If it is overwhelming, if it is scary, if it is dark, if it's murderous, that's demonic. I have a different checklist. Nothing there hits that feel for me. Most of the evil seems tied to people, and like the kind of nasty things that people do to each other, which, is a different sort of demonic.
Okay, so we're gonna start investigating. If you're up, can you do me a favor? If you keep getting hits or if anything comes to you, will you text us?
Yeah. If anything pops up, I'll be up till probably 4 or so. Good luck.
Okay, us too.
I actually do find this a really interesting take, that she's basically saying if you're the right conduit, you're gonna have these crazy experiences, but it doesn't mean that something is necessarily bad here. And I think that makes sense for the wide array of experiences that have happened. And even like what Laura and Alex were telling us, that like they don't really believe there's anything bad here.
And people, obviously, when there's scratching involved, they automatically think it's demonic. Growling is demonic, but it's like there's negative spirits too, and this would be like the perfect place for negative spirits. What do you guys think about trying to let the spirits know that this place is gonna be demolished?
I think
try to get
we do everything we possibly can tonight.
Do you have your spirit box?
Yeah.
Do you want to start? You guys want to start with that?
Yeah.
I could get my tripwire.
Yeah.
Do you want us to just start here?
Yeah.
Okay.
REM pod.
Let's do it.
Let's just set stuff up.
Everything.
Yeah.
Let's do it.